Hi there, this is Ramey over at moneybyramey.com, coming at you today with a new YouTube video series, The Week Ahead. What I'm going to be looking to do for the video series The Week Ahead is give you some updates of what's going on at moneybyramey.com, give you a little bit of insight of kind of what I'm expecting in markets, a few stocks that I'm watching, as well as just some general money tips. Hopefully you enjoyed this series. If you have any feedback, feel free to email me directly at, Ramey at moneybyramey.com. I read every one of those emails to help to try to make the site a little bit better for all of you, my readers and listeners and watchers, YouTube watchers. If you haven't been to Money by Amy for a while, we're doing some really cool things. We're upgrading our dividend learning center all the time. We can live track our dividend portfolio. I'm looking to publish 1 to 2 articles per week. I'm looking to see how much I can get that increased. If I could publish every day, that'd be great. But sometimes I want to make sure that I research in depth on the articles for you. But I'm also looking to build out really cool tools. This dividend income calculator, if you're a dividend investor and you haven't yet had a chance to use this, come over here, use it. Right now it's free. I'm actually looking to do an upgraded version that might be available within about a week or two. I'm kind of talking to a developer on that, but that should be pretty cool. And then I'm also looking to build my dividend watch list in there for you to be able to sort through. It might be under a members center. I'm still kind of weighing the pros and cons of that. But yeah, it's something that I want to offer as many tools to my readership as I can. And obviously, we're across all these different channels, so feel free to, subscribe, show us some love on, any of these channels that you're on. I definitely would appreciate it. And again, for right now, what we're really looking to do is build up this YouTube channel. And I'm going to be starting to publish a lot more videos for you to help you in your improve your financial acumen, help with your dividend investing. I did one on Johnson Johnson stock analysis the other day. So yeah, feel free, come out here if you could, subscribe, show us some love. I definitely would really, really appreciate that. So without further ado, I'm going to get started on the week ahead, what I'm seeing for 9/30/19. So 3 stocks that I've been watching that I might want to invest in are Intel Corp, JP Morgan, and Altera. Now, when I say might want to invest, I also just kind of mean watching that I feel like valuations might be interesting. So if we come over here, the first stock that I'm going to look at here is just INTC. We'll just go over these very, very high level. I just want to kind of introduce you to where it's at. So if I come here, this is a stock screener that I use that I'm looking to build out for all my readership. I'm not quite there yet, but maybe soon. So if we look, Intel right now is trading at $51. I know they were up the other day. Some chip makers had some pretty good performance. I was kind of surprised to see that they've only had dividends growing for 5 years. So I looked into that over at Seeking Alpha, and it looked like in 14 they didn't grow it, so they kind of got it. Their coveted dividend growth every year kind of took a hit in that perspective. But if I come over here, the PE ratio, I'm going to move this for you. The PE ratio right here is right, it's under 12. And I mean, that's pretty fantastic for Intel, a pretty large player, trading $9 off the lows. The only knock against it that I see right now is dividend yield is not exactly where I want to be as far as investing right now. So, but that is one stock that I do want to get in my portfolio. Again, I don't know if it's going to be this week, in the coming months ahead, but I'm going to be watching that. I mean, if I can get back in there at 42.36, this yield goes above 3%. I mean, that would be excellent for me. I'm not sure what would have to happen to make that go down to those levels and whether or not it'd be material to the stock. But that's kind of one thing that I'm looking at is that I do want to add Intel. The next one is J.P. Morgan Chase, and JPM is interesting in that they're trading pretty close to their highs. You can see their 52-week high is $120, so they're not trading off lows, but their PE ratio is still relatively low, and their yield is above 3% when compared to where they're at with everything. So you can see I have them highlighted over here. These are kind of stocks that I've been watching that if I want to scroll through and if I see that, hey, those are ones that I feel are adequately valued, those are ones that I might invest in. So JPM is definitely presenting an interesting opportunity because I do believe banking sector has been undervalued. I actually did just add Wells Fargo to the portfolio. I think it was maybe about 3 weeks ago or so, and it did get a nice little bump on a new CEO that they added. Apparently, the market just loved him. So that was good to see that people, investors wanted to buy into the stock because of this guy, because it seems like he knows what he's doing, to help to try to right the ship, because obviously they've had some issues in the past 3, 4, 5 years. So hopefully we'll see if he can get that righted. But back to JPM, I mean, again, they're trading off highs. I'm always kind of hesitant to get in at highs, but if I do see good values, I mean that there's no reason why this couldn't become 250 or 300. But with that being said, I'd have to look at everything. The other stock that I'm looking at is Altera. I've never invested in this company, and I'll show you why. If we come over here, they've been paying dividends for a long time, or growing their dividends, not only paying, growing, for 49 years. They're trading $1.52 off their lows. And if we look, I looked at them in February, and I typically buy into companies that I personally use on a daily basis. I don't smoke. No judgment against people that do. But what this is I don't want to buy into the cigarette industry dying breed. And that is true. It's dying. Vaping is coming along, but obviously it's having issues of its own. The biggest thing, though, that somebody said something to me or I read something somewhere where Altera has been so good at navigating these type of markets where the products are hated. There's a lot of pressure trying to drive down demand, and they've been still able to increase their dividend for 49 years. So for me, I'm kind of looking at this like, is there a point where, this low PE ratio, this high dividend yield, where this makes sense to look at getting into this stock? And I wouldn't buy a huge position, but just enough where at least I've had some exposure to something. I read somewhere one time that in recessions, a few things that don't go down are, booze, cigarettes, and gambling. The other one is prostitution, but that's not legal. So I kind of always thought that was really interesting, that they're in an industry where no matter if markets are up or down, I mean they're still pretty steady from a demand perspective, not taking into account the big trends that are against it from cigarette people that don't want people to smoke cigarettes anymore. So Altera is at maybe the lower end tier of what I'm looking at. Like I'd like to buy a large chunk of JPM or INTC if the values present themselves. I don't think I'd do that with Altera. It would just be kind of re-expose the portfolio to some stocks that I'm not really into yet. So yeah, so those are the three stocks I'm watching this week. Again, that's not a buy or sell recommendation for you, but that's just kind of what I'm looking at in my portfolio. As you can see, again, this watch list. This is I track all these stocks. I use this as a Google API. I'm actually looking for new API right now to these numbers all live update themselves based on market fluctuations. So, but my goal is to get this list live on the website for you so that you can go ahead and sort it. So be sure to keep checking back. This is a project that I have that's probably maybe a month or two down the line. Working on building out the div calc with the drip calculation at the moment. But yeah, so hopefully we'll get this going. And you can see I got to update this a little bit. But yeah, so I'll look to have that on the website as soon as possible. But those are three stocks that I'm looking at. Other than that, simple investing. So I wrote a book on investing, actually, my process of the dividend investing strategy. It's almost here. I have it all edited, ready to be uploaded to Amazon. This one I'm going to do ebook and print. And I'm just working on finalizing the cover. I think it's really cool. I got some feedback on it, so hopefully you'll like it too. But if you are interested in learning, having a one-stop shop for the dividend investing strategy, I recommend that you buy this book. I really try to go over everything, show you some great examples, kind of detail out how and why I started investing and where I've been going with that. So be sure to check that out. I already mentioned the dividend calculator, and I'd really like it if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel if you find value in it. That really helps me out. What I wanted to end on today is what I'm reading. This is kind of a new series that I want to do. I'm always reading new books. I probably read too many at a time. I'm reading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 5 books right now. So I kind of go back and forth depending on the mood that I'm in. But the one book that I've picked up, and I actually got it from the library, but if you wanted to pick this up, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a data analytics type person, is Storytelling with Data. I've probably read about 50 pages or so, but I can already see that the information is going to be so valuable, because I know for me, I present a lot of information, through the website or just even, at positions, consulting jobs that I do. And I think it's really important to make sure that when you do present the data, that it's easy to understand. So this is great book that I've been reading, and one that's really been kind of challenging. If I make a graph, or if I'm putting out a number to an audience, like how can I show what that number means in the easiest fashion possible? So this book has really helped me, really understand that, really think through that. And so if you're looking to get more of a, understanding what to do with a big complex set of data and how to present that, I recommend picking up this book. And I'll have a link to it in the YouTube video below. Um, and that is the book that I'm reading this week, and that I recommend you read too. So that's what I'm looking at for the week ahead. If you agree, disagree, put a note in the comments. I'm interested to see also what you're watching the week ahead as far as stocks, kind of what you think market developments might be, and or if you have any feedback on this video or the website. I'm always looking to grow, always looking to learn, always looking to improve, and I know you are too. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off. This is Ramey over at moneybyramey.com. Happy investing. Take care.